Hey, afternoon, guys. Hope you're doing okay. Just wanted to jump on and just sort of have a little bit of a talk about training, consistency, summer holidays, struggling to get kids to classes because they either want to be out with their friends, which is fine. It's one of those things of like during the school holidays that's going to happen, right? And you know, in one way or another, you just can't stop that. It's one of those things of you know, sometimes during the school holidays you're gonna go away for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, even 6 weeks, or maybe even longer for some of you. And it's the fact that sometimes you as a parent may struggle to get your child to come to class as well as during the school holidays, which is you know, it's going to happen, and that is, you know, you just got to deal with it the way it is. You know, the problem with maybe not coming to class on a regular basis is the fact that, you know, you'll get out of the habit and then all of a sudden it'll be like, I don't want to go to karate anymore because of whatever reasons, right? Which is fine. Everybody's, you know, everybody's up to you know, up to do their own thing, right? But one of the things we've had just recently, we've had messages, we've been spoken to directly by some parents, and it might be the case we've had a few maybe a few emails over the last sort of 2 to 3 weeks or so since the school holidays have started, basically to say that, you know, they're struggling to get their child to come to class for whatever reasons. And one of the things that pops up is the fact that, you know, people will use the word bored. They're getting bored. I hate the word bored because I don't find myself boring. I don't find my classes boring. I'm at every single class and I do not find the way I teach boring. Now, obviously, again, you know, everybody's got their own opinion, you know, which is understandable. But I am so much on the kids' wavelength; it's unreal. I'm fun, energetic, high energy, and so are the team. The team are exactly the same. You know, every class, I feel as though that every class has got a little bit of everything in there. But also sometimes people use that word bored. Not as an excuse, but they use the word bored as in because they're finding something that they're challenged by. So let's say we're doing a drill which involves maybe 4 or 5 different moves in it. You know, some of the kids will get lost after the first or second one, and then all of a sudden it was like their brain will turn off and they'll go, oh, I'm bored. And then I'll go, what are you bored about? Well, I can't get it. So you're not bored, you can't get it. So what is it that you don't get? Oh, well, I can do this bit and this bit, but I can't do that bit and that bit. So you're challenged then. Well, yeah. So you're not bored? No. Do you get the idea? So I obviously don't do that to the kids, but in my own head, I'm obviously speaking to myself and I'm going, right, okay, they're not bored, they're challenged by it. So what do we need to do to rectify that problem? So as a parent, obviously for you guys, you know, it's, you know, the children will go, oh, I'm bored. It's very, you know, it's not the word repetitive. Not a lot of the kids don't use the word repetitive. They'll go, it's the same thing. Now, obviously with that, some of the classes are the same. You're absolutely right. You know, we've got children that do 2 or 3 classes a week. Now with that, we have a specific theme that I work on generally throughout the week. So for instance, I might do pad work, or I might do pad work, flow drills and sparring. So I'll have 3 sort of themes to work on throughout that week. Now, if they're doing 2 classes a week or 3 classes a week, they'll get a mix of those 3 throughout that week. But I also understand that those guys do train 2 or 3 times a week. So then I'll try and mix that up for them as we're working through some classes. So some of that can be a, should we call it a repetitive thing? But also, that means they're getting better at those 3 things because they worked on it 3 times or 2 times, depending on how many times they're training. Now, as adults, we understand that. As kids, they don't. They just go, oh, it's the same thing, same thing, same thing. So if it's the fact that your child is maybe, you know, saying they don't want to come to karate for whatever reason, what is it? Do they want to stay on the computer at home all the time? Is it that they want to go out with their friends more? Of course, that's going to happen during the summer holidays. I totally get that. And why not let them go and do that? But also don't have that thing of, you know, them talking to you about it and then just brushing it off and just hoping that the problem will go away. Because obviously, again, from our point of view, we want them there, we want them training, we want to make sure that they're doing the best things that they can. And obviously, from your point of view, it's hard work getting to them to classes sometimes, but also understand the fact that, when they are at class, they're learning something that's giving them the confidence, giving them the strength, giving them the discipline that they need. And you want to make sure that that they're there as much as you can get them there. But if you're finding at the moment where you're struggling to get the child there, or they're saying that they don't want to go because whatever reason, then reach out to us. Don't hold back and not bother telling us at all, and then just decide to go, right, they're finishing. Reach out to us first, see what we can do. We're very approachable. We're a very approachable team. Myself, Chrissy, Kieran, Jess. We've got every, and Harv as well. Actually, he can be on the wavelength for some of those kids as well. And then we've got the rest of the team as well. We've got I think we've got approximately nearly 20 or just over 20 team members as well. And these guys are very approachable. They're very good at what they do. So if you're struggling to get your child to class for whatever reason, reach out to us first. Don't just stop just for the sake of it. In fact, I had a parent, I think it was last week, actually come and spoke to me directly regarding trying to get their child to class, and how they were feeling, and why they didn't want to come to class, and so on and so on and so on. And then it was the fact of just trying to make the child understand why they haven't been put in for grading yet. And that's probably one of the reasons why, is the fact that a lot of the children will go, oh, well, I enjoy the grading part. Well, of course you do. You want a new belt, but you don't realise what hard work has to be done first before you can get that new belt. It's in your gradings, there's all your techniques, right? Your strikes, your blocks, your kicks, your stances, your flow drills, pad drills, catch flow drills, and so on and so on. But also there's behaviour, focus, strength, mentality. All of those things have to come into your next belt. If I reward, let's say for instance I've got a child that is continuously misbehaving, and bear in mind we have obviously certain children that have some extra needs. So let's say neurodivergent, right? So neurodivergent children, there'll be a thing of sometimes it might be the case that their behaviour is absolutely off the Richter scale, where we have to go, right, okay, how do we challenge this, or how do we get over this? What are we expecting from that specific person for their next grade? It might be completely different for them, for someone else. But if we have a child that we know doesn't have neurodivergent challenges, I say challenges, probably the wrong word, but things that we need to work on, and their behaviour is bad, and I put them in for a grading, then all I'm doing is rewarding bad behaviour, and that's not what I want. So bearing in mind, we're a club, we're a very inclusive club. It's karate for everyone. For us, we have to juggle. We're juggling so many different things week after week after week. So but yeah, anyway, so if you've got a child that's maybe struggling to go to class, or letting you know that they don't want to go to class for whatever reason, reach out to us first. We can obviously get in touch with you guys, and we can have a little bit of a chat with them, and see what we can do. But apart from that, take it steady, have a good rest of your summer, and we'll catch up soon. Anyway guys, take it steady, cheers then, bye bye.